Hello dear, welcome. In this video, I am going to give you the quick revision of everything I need to know I learned in the forest, written by Vandana Shiva. This will be very useful to you, especially before the examination. Almost all important points are covered here. If you have read at least once, definitely now you will recollect all those points. The whole lesson will come in front of you. And I hope that this will definitely help you. It will take very little time. If you feel that it is good, please do say, comment in the comment box and touch the thumbs up icon. Okay, come. Now let's go and see the points. Here are the points for Chipko movement. Chipko movement started in the early 70s. It started in Gadwal portion of the Himalayas, and Sundarlal Bahuguna was its pioneer, that means father of Chipko movement. And the Chipko movement had more women participants because they were directly affected by large scale deforestation. The women participants used to go to the forests and they were hugging the trees to protect them from the loggers. And these women held up lighted lanterns in broad daylight. That means this is to mock the forest officials, to show that they did not know the reality and the women wanted to show them what is real forestry. So before the forest officials, we teach you forestry. This is what they used to say. Then there comes a Bachni Devi's episode. This woman was one of the participants of Chipko movement, and in the 1977 she opposed her own husband who had a valid license for logging the trees. That means he had obtained a valid license from the government, but still incurring loss to her own family, she went to the extent of opposing her own husband. Now about Vandana Shiva. Vandana Shiva's father was a forest conservator, mother was a farmer. She was born and brought up in Gadwal, Himalayas, and she involved in Chipko movement when she was a girl. She did her PhD in Canada, and her mission is spreading biodiversity method of farming, and she has written Monocultures of the Mind. This is the book she has written. So this is about Vandana Shiva. So here are the points for Navdanya farm. Navdanya farm was established in 1994. It was in Doon Valley in Gadwal Himalayas or Uttarakhand province for demonstration. This was established for demonstration purpose, and this has Earth University in it. Earth University was inspired by Shantiniketan of Rabindranath Tagore, and it has seed banks. When they started with collecting the seeds. So those seed banks were established. The main aim of this Navdanya farm was shift from monoculture to biodiversity method of farming, and it has two courses in it, that is A to Z of organic farming, and the second one Gandhi and globalization. And most of the participants are farmers and some students. Here are the points for rights of the nature. That means that nature is given its rights. These are the two tiny countries who have given the rights to the nature in their constitution. That is Ecuador and Bolivia, very important one. And then when in 2011 there was a UN assembly, and during that time there was a conference on the nature that was called Harmony with Nature. And there in that conference, one of the agenda was dominations. So when they discussed about domination, these three dominations were discussed, that is rich over poor, men over women, and human beings over nature, and they came to a conclusion that we have to do away with these dominations and we have to adopt partnership. That means equal. Men and women are equal, rich and poor are equal, and human beings are part of the nature. They are not superior. And there is a word apartheid. This apartheid means separateness. That is the racial discrimination on the basis of color. Of course, it is not practiced now, but Cormac Cullinan says, or he has coined another apartheid, that is eco-apartheid. So this eco-apartheid means feeling of human beings that they are not part of the nature. This illusion of thinking that we are not part of the nature is termed as eco-apartheid. Here are the points for dead earth worldview. So this means before the industrial revolution in Europe, the people used to think that the earth is our mother, she is our nurturing mother. When people started thinking that it is not a mother earth, it is not something vibrant, it is only a dead matter which supplies us all the minerals. They are not part of the nature, they are separate. That is called a dead earth worldview. And this leads to capitalism. And here Francis Bacon was of this view. Francis Bacon, who was the father of modern science, he had created the domination image. He used to say that by virtue of the scientific knowledge and the technological knowledge what we have, we can dominate the nature. That's what he told. That means we are able to control the nature. And just opposite was Caroline Merchant, that he said, no, we are part of the nature and earth is our mother, a vibrant entity. That's what Caroline Merchant says. That's the reason one of the quotings it is given there, one does not slay a mother and dig into her entrails for gold. That's what is given there. So he is just opposite of Francis Bacon. But according to this view, it became only a supplier of raw materials. And monoculture replaced biodiversity. That means biodiversity was already there before the Industrial Revolution, and because of this dead earth worldview, monoculture was introduced. And now also Vandana Shiva is trying hard to change monoculture to biodiversity method of farming, that is organic farming. That has become the sole mission of her life. Now the point about Earth University. Earth University is located in Naudania farm, which is located again in the Doon Valley in Garhwal, Himalayas. And it is inspired by Shantiniketan. It is an open school and there people learn many things about the farming. The Earth University teaches Earth Democracy. The courses conducted here are A to Z of organic farming and Gandhi and globalization. This is about Earth University. Now Earth Democracy. What is Earth Democracy? Shift from anthropocentrism to ecocentrism. Anthropocentrism means we give maximum importance to the human beings. Human interest is kept at the center and all other things are secondary. To ecocentrism. Ecocentrism means ecology, ecosystem is now made the central point and rest all are secondary. That is called ecocentrism. That means when you talk about Earth Democracy, this has to happen. It has shift from anthropocentrism to ecocentrism. Then freedom of all species to live and evolve in the web of life. That means everybody is equal here. All the species, animals, birds, insects, everybody has a right to live on this earth because they have taken birth. and it translates into human rights for food and water. So earth democracy means everybody, poorest of the poor, must get food and water without any problem. If earth democracy exists, then no human being should suffer from hunger. That is the idea. Now about Tagore. Tagore is the India's national poet, and he founded Shantiniketan near Calcutta, and he is a Nobel laureate, and he wrote an essay called Tapovan. This essay is on nature and Indian civilization. Now there he writes what forest teaches. First is it teaches enoughness, then democracy, how to live without conflict, and it also teaches union and compassion. In the essay Tapovan, Tagore has also given these points. Indian civilization is forest civilization. That means most of India lives in its villages. Because of that, we are very close to the nature. That is the reason he says great ideas have come from the nature. That means all our great books, great ideas, ancient wisdom, it has all come from the people, those who lived in the forests, not in the cities. Peace of the forest has developed intellectual evolution. When we go through the ancient Indian history, we come to know that most of our rishis and munis, that is saints, they used to live as hermits in ashramas away from the cities or away from the people. There they got great ideas. That's why it is told the peace of the forest developed intellectual evolution of Indians. And what is the principle of Indian civilization? The principle of Indian civilization is unity in diversity. Now also we follow this principle, and for a good living or for good life, we need unity in diversity always, because this is what is taught by the nature. So if you change it, that means that is we need unity without diversity. That means when there is only unity and there is no diversity, then it leads to ground for external control. Somebody will control you. Then if there is only diversity, then it leads to conflict and conquest. That means people will fight among themselves and there will be conquest. That means a strong man will conquer the weak man. This is what happens. That's why our civilization goes on the principle of unity in diversity. And further it says, consumerism brings inequality. Consumerism brings sorrow. Therefore, if you want to really enjoy the life, you have to leave consumerism and accumulation. The real enjoyment comes when you share your things with others, not by accumulation. So I think now almost all points are covered here, which could be asked for 1 mark question and even for writing your answers also. This method will definitely help you, especially before the examination, because in a very short period I have covered all the points.